Hi guys, Senator Rennick, People First Party. I just want to talk about an event that took place last night over in the States. The Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, has gone ultra hawkish on the future outlook for interest rates, and that caused the Dow Jones to fall by about 1,000 points in the last few hours of trade, as well as a few other markets. But the reason why I want to raise it is that it's another example of how these unelected central bankers can manipulate markets through their words. And more I'm starting to become to the opinion that central banks should not be independent from the governments that are elected by the people. Now, the reason why I'm particularly annoyed about what Jerome Powell did last night was that back in September, he dropped interest rates by 50 basis points or 0.5% going into the US election. And, you could quite easily read into that he was trying to prop up the market to give Biden the best chance of being re-elected. And then by going ultra hawkish last night, he's trying to basically bring the markets or crash the markets because of Trump's economic policies. And to me, that's political interference. Now, I've often spoken about the RBA here, and that's why I guess I'm bringing it up, because the RBA basically colludes with the Federal Reserve, with the International Bank of Settlements. I've asked the RBA in the past for the correspondence between it and the International Bank of Settlements, only to be told that I can't be given those notes because the RBA would no longer have a seat at the table. And I think we need much greater scrutiny of the central banks, to the point whereby they need to come under the control of the treasuries that are controlled by the Treasurer. Because people don't understand the impact of monetary policy, and many people say that we don't want monetary policy becoming political. Well, monetary policy should be political. It should be discussed. It should be discussed in Parliament, and should be discussed in the media much more, because there's a lot of nefarious activity that goes on in the monetary markets, and we can't have asset prices being determined by unelected central bankers and the words they use. Asset prices should be determined by their future earnings. So, for example, if a company comes out and says, "Oh, look, our expected earnings are going to drop," then the share price should move because of that. It shouldn't move because of some guy given enormous amounts of power to wield, this magic wand of interest rates. That shouldn't be what moves markets. You've got the tail wagging the dog. And we need to change the way monetary policy is controlled in this country and across the world. We need to be using it in the form of not just debt, but as sovereign countries, we can issue equity against our own sovereign title to create new infrastructure. And that's something that needs to happen both here in the States, in Australia and in the States. And just before I finish, I'll urge you to go and Google the word plunge protection team. You'll actually see that there's an organisation that was set up in the late 80s after the 87 stock market crash called the Working Group on Financial Markets. And that's effectively where, the Treasury and the Federal Reserve manipulate interest rates. The other way they do it is through the use of derivatives. There was another organisation started in the mid-80s called ISDA, International Settlements and Derivatives Association. I'm familiar with it because I used to be a Treasury accountant, and I did a lot of work dealing with interest rate swaps, cross-currency swaps, FX forward swaps, things like that. And that's the other way they control markets, is through the use of derivatives. And if we want to actually get our economies back on track, we need to stop this speculative sort of behaviour and start focusing on productive solutions like building an infrastructure bank, building dams, building power stations, reskilling our employment sector, young children with real skills, whether it be tradies, but we need them back on the tools. I just wanted to raise that today because that is a point of topic today, and it's something we need to look out for, is that the central bankers don't try and crash markets to work against Trump's proposed economic policies. Have a good day.
Authorised G. Rennick People First Chermside.